The battles in this series are just absolutely on another level. And I mean, this guy Kastro is something else, dude, in his use of Nen. Oh boy. Hunter x Hunter episode 31, Destiny and Tenacity. Man, the fights in here are just off the frickin' chain, man. Woo! Well, hello, my brothers and sisters and hunters and Nen users of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and intricately woven, vividly explained and depicted tale of Hunter x Hunter. Our last episode, of course, saw us with Gon being forbade to, fight for and getting this promise. Wing put this promise string around his finger as a visual reminder that he had promised that he would not fight until he had completely healed in 2 months' time. And it was actually supposed to be 4 months, but Killua told Wing is only 2. And nonetheless, that's how we left things off. We did see Kurapika and realized that he is going to be trained by this mysterious person that he ran into. Obviously, on just kind of being able to awaken his Nen and open up his oral piles or whatever those are called. Anyways, this episode though was great. That's where that one left off, and this one goes and picks up. It's 1 month later, right? And we check in real quick with Gon, and Killua walks into his room, and Gon's doing like one-handed, like handstand push-ups, because that's what you do when you're just a badass 12-year-old like that. And Killua's like, well, what the hell, man? Are you healed, And he goes and flips onto his arm that was messed up, that was broke or whatever, fractured, and does a handstand on that, and then does a double flip in the air, lands it. And like all cool, crazy Olympic style. And Killua's just like, Killua, it's funny because you can see the childish nature that comes out in him, and how, although he's very strong and has all this potential, how he's very immature. Because then he goes and he's just like thinking in his head, he's like, stupid Gon, how did he heal in 1 month, and he was supposed to take him 4, So they wind up running into Wing a little bit later on as well, and even Wing's like, what the hell, man? This kid has got major regenerative, capabilities, and we're talking like Wolverine type of healing regenerative abilities here. For any of those of you that follow the Marvel comics and movies and such. But anyway, the bottom line, and really what the center focus, what this episode focuses on, is Hisoka is having a match. He's having a match today against Kastro. And Hisoka, the thing that I forgot to describe a couple of chapters, or a couple of episodes, ago, was that once you're up in the 200s, you have to win 10 matches to get into the, I believe, to get up into the last 20 or 21 levels where you're actually fighting like the floor bosses. But you can only lose 4. If you get 4 losses before you get 10 wins, you're out. You're down. I don't know if you're back into the like the 190s, or if you're just completely done or what. I forget about that, but. Nonetheless, though, the whole deal here is that this guy Kastro, Hisoka is 8-3, right? It's not that great of a record, but the 3 losses that he has were because of forfeitures. They're matches that he signed up for and registered, but he never showed, so he really didn't lose. So basically, the guy's undefeated. He's only had 4 points scored on him, right? 1 knockdown and 3 actual hits, I guess, or what have you, something along those lines. And 3 of those 4 times were actually in this fight with this guy Kastro 2 years ago. So this guy Kastro has gone on since to win 9 matches in a row, and it's been 2 years, and they both signed up on the same day and everything like that, so they could have this this rematch, right? And this Kastro guy, man, he is something else, dude. Like, his look is, he sort of has like this monk look to him, because he's got this sort of like flowy robe gown type thing and long white hair and everything. Just sort of looks like some wise man or whatever. And Killua goes to get a look at him, and goes and winds up sneaking up to where his room is on his floor, and he uses his Zetsu to conceal his presence. And, or one of his assassin-like, deals. But the bottom line is, he goes, tries to conceal his presence and peek in on him, And all of a sudden, dude appears behind him, and he's like, what the hell? And he's thinking in his head, how did he do that? My eyes were on him the whole time. So this guy Kastro has like some next level use of Nen, and it's not fully explained until you really get into the fight with him and Hisoka. Unfortunately, Gon is forbidden to watch the fight. He has to keep his promise to Wing that he was not going to participate or, anything, because this would be learning more about the use of Nen, obviously, going and watching this fight. So he's going to have to watch the tape later on, I guess, but he can't be there live. Nonetheless, Killua is there live. And this battle between these two is great, man. It starts off, and this Kastro, I don't know what to think. I don't know if it's going to be an evenly matched battle or whatever. But he basically goes to Ahsoka and he's just like, yeah, you know, just so you know, after that loss that you gave me, that propelled me forward, because then I went, and obviously he won 9 matches in a row, and he's never even had to use his full potential and strength, but he's grown and become stronger in that 2 years since they last fought, you know. And Ahsoka's just got that sort of like just that creepy like pedophile, I'm thinking about like touching, you know, children or something look on his face, right? And he's just kind of like that, you know, and he doesn't really say much of anything, you know. The fight starts and Kastro immediately goes and jumps into the air and does this knife hand chop that it looks like Ahsoka dodges, but then winds up getting jacked up, right? From some invisible force, it seems like. So Ahsoka's immediately down 1 point to none. Then he's down 2 points to none, winds up hitting him again, you know? And he's like, wow, you know, and Ahsoka's not really, he doesn't seem worried at all. He's calm, he's collected, he's cool, right? But this dude Kastro, even though he's kind of being a little bit overbearing and seems like he's overconfident, it seems like this dude's got, you know, he's got the skills to pay the bills, man. You know, he's backing up what he's saying. So he's going and talking a little bit of shit to Ahsoka, and I think that he feels almost as if it's a, almost if Ahsoka's not showing him the respect he deserves, because he's just calm and collected, and he's just kind of trying to move and dodge the attacks. He's not going on the offensive, he's not getting excited about it, and he's in the middle of this, like, life or death like battle. I mean, you're in the 200s here, bro, so it may not end well for you, right? You may not be breathing at the end of this match. Anyways, then he goes and he says he's going to use this move. Kastro does this tiger bite fist, you know, or tiger fist bite, whatever, I forget what it's called, something with tiger. And he goes and just, you know, goes and there's this cool aura coming from. And Ahsoka, a couple of times, was trying to go and kind of inner monologue and think like, you know, what happened? It seems like there was another presence. It seemed like, and he's trying to figure out, was it just like an illusion? Was he faster? Was he, you know, and he's trying to kind of deduce everything in his head, but he's real calm and collective about it, you know, and he's taking these, losing these points, getting hit and taking these hits. So then Kastro comes at him with this move, right? And he's like, I'm going to take your arm with this move, you know? So Ahsoka goes and puts out his left arm, and he's just like, go ahead, you know, do it if you can, right? And as he goes to come at him and go to that left arm, I don't know if Ahsoka was going to block it or if he was going to dodge it or what, because it looks like Ahsoka blocks, right, that hip. All of a sudden, his right arm from just below the elbow, man, his like the bottom part of his forearm, and his hand just gets fucking sliced off, right? Goes flying up in the air. Ahsoka winds up going, and he kind of moves, dodges, whatever he does, catches the damn thing, and he's just standing there like there's nothing. He just lost part of his arm. Now, I don't know what type of otherworldly powers this dude has, but he's not even like spewing blood or anything like that. I don't know if it was just like a clean, like it cauterized the wound as it cut or what, right? I'm not going to question him. I just know that Ahsoka he's got the biggest pedophile balls that I have ever seen, because he's just standing there holding his arm like still calm and collective. What he winds up figuring out is that this dude uses a clone or a doppelganger of himself, right? And Wing and Zushi are watching this whole thing on TV, and Wing's like, oh, a doppelganger, you know? And then Zushi's like, what's that, master? So we get a whole explanation on it, and he actually shows that, obviously, Nen users, you know, they can, certain ones can learn to project like an actual clone, a doppelganger. And it explains that, like, they share the aura and sometimes can actually kind of steal the aura from the original, from the not the copy, the original. Until they're dismissed or whatever, but it should cause him extreme duress and stress. And Zushi's like, yeah, but he looks fine, you know. And then Wing's like, yeah, but you know that Wing alludes to that's all just a front, right? Like this guy's really probably dying inside trying to go and control this, but he wants to win this match bad, so he's pulling this shit out. And then Killua, he's like thinking, oh, so that's how he did that shit. There actually was 2 of him. And this guy, Kastro, goes in, because as Ahsoka goes and figures it out and kind of spouts it out, he says, hey, yeah, the lipstick came off the pig. You found me out. I didn't think you'd figure this out. But then he goes and actually multiplies himself and splits, and there's 2 exact copies of himself. So what Ahsoka was feeling with that presence was that he actually goes and takes the one and he comes at him, and then goes and disguises that presence, and the doppelganger actually goes and goes in for the attack, you know, just look left, hit right, you know, that sort of thing. And it's really cool to see. But again, Ahsoka lost his fucking arm, man. You know? So I'm sitting here going, what the hell? And he's still calm and cool about it. So the episode ends right after that, you know. Zastro explains all this stuff and then goes and Kastro, I'm sorry. Zastro sounded cooler at the time. He goes and, you know, he's multiplied. He comes back into, you know, one of himself, and he's going to go and come at him again with this tiger bite, you know, tiger bite fist or what have you, his real move, and he's going to take his left arm now, you know. And just amazing how it was explained, and now I'm really understanding what people are talking about when they say that Hunter x Hunter has the best explained and depicted fights. I really didn't know what people. I heard that in comments months ago and everything, and I was like, yeah, whatever, you know. I'm sure it's cool, you know. But now that I'm seeing this and I'm just wow, and I'm experiencing it, wow, next level. You know what I mean? Most stuff, manga, comics, anime, whatever, they're here. Hunter x Hunter, at least with the fight depiction, here. It's head and shoulders above the rest from what I've seen in my limited experience. So the episode ends on, you know, obviously Hisoka being down several points, 4 points, 6 points, I don't even know, to none, and it looking like it's going to be an upset, like a one-sided battle here. But, you know, Hisoka's pretty damn sneaky, and he's pretty strong on his own, and he figured out what the deal is now. So I'm thinking that, I don't know who's going to wind up coming out ahead, but I'm hoping that we'll see in the next episode, and I certainly hope that it'll be at least a competitive match. So my episode question for you, though, brothers and sisters, is what are your thoughts on Kastro, and what are your thoughts on his ability to use Nen to actually clone himself and use a doppelganger? Just next level, off the hook type of shit, as far as I'm concerned. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button, if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next Fun Nations. Remember to subscribe to my other channel and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.